At this moment, 300 million Indians are living in darkness. Each day, demand pushes further and further past supply. Population swells, increased use of consumer electronics and technology are stretching our power capabilities quite thin. The big challenges today are availability of power, accessibility, especially in remote villages, reliability, and the harmful effects that power generation can have on our world. One of the most effective and abundant resources for energy is the sun. It is estimated that India can generate 1900 billion units of solar power every year. That's enough to service the annual power demand of India. So let's visit a project that's a meeting point between a big company's ideology and a small village's electricity needs.
It used to get difficult for many villagers living in the outskirts of Muradabad in Uttar Pradesh to continue with their regular household chores as the daylight faded into darkness. But an innovative solution in the form of solar home lighting systems transformed the lifestyle of Kamal Singh and many others in this village of Khadana.
मैं सिलाई भी कर लेता हूँ 6 बजे के बाद और बच्चे खाना भी खाते हैं और हमारे बच्चे पढ़ भी लेते हैं। घरवाली में हमारी मैसेज खाना भी सही तरह से पका लेती हैं, बना लेती हैं। टाटा सोलर ऊर्जा लगा है हमारे यहाँ, तब से आमदनी भी हमारी बढ़ गई है।
India's leading solar solutions provider, Tata Power Solar, is tapping the power of solar energy to address the many electricity challenges faced by the rural quarters of the country.
To what extent can solar energy solve the energy crisis that India finds itself in?
I think solar is going to play a hugely critical role in India's energy future. India, as we all know, is huge power deficit. And we also know instinctively, but we don't think about, is also a huge amount of fuel deficit. Most of the fuel that we use to generate electricity is imported. Even coal, oil, gas, kerosene, we import a lot of our fuel to generate electricity, whether it's large plants or remote villages in the backwaters of India. And this dependency can't continue. If you really look at the growth of the country, we need to add somewhere like 25 to 30 gigawatts of power every year, and we don't have access to fuel. So solar is going to play a huge role in that because we are blessed with an abundant amount of sunshine all over the country that can be easily tapped to produce power anywhere we wish. So I think solar is going to play a huge role in the energy future of the economy.
A significant collaboration between Tata Power Solar and DuPont Photovoltaic Solutions brings to the table the best of both the companies. Solar panels at Tata Power Solar in Bangalore are produced using DuPont's unique metallization paste called SolarMet. It helps in boosting the power output of solar panels.
This is DuPont's innovation, which is, and this is a mouthful, the DuPont SolarMet photovoltaic metallization paste. Right? Have I got that right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So that is applied on the solar panels, and that's the process that we see happening right here. But what is this SolarMet paste actually doing? What is it achieving?
So what happens is that when you have the solar cells, which are then incorporated into the panels, getting exposed to the sun, we have these tiny bits of electrons which erupt from different parts of the cell. And they then need to be collected, conducted, and then used, in lighting up people's homes. So the SolarMet paste from DuPont, it helps to be able to aggregate those electrons very, very efficiently.
To provide a safer and an eco-friendly alternative to kerosene lamps in many villages in Uttar Pradesh, Tata Power Solar holds regular awareness campaigns to educate people about home lighting systems. It also partners with banks to make the system more affordable by introducing microfinance schemes.
So we worked with a lot of financial institutions, including banks like Prathama Bank, Aryavat Bank in the state of UP, wherein the farmer or a villager or a rural person just needed to pay about 10% of the total lights as margin money, and the remaining could come as equated monthly installments of as low as maybe 210 rupees a month, which is far lower than if a person has to buy kerosene at the rates that are going now.
Cost is roughly it is 4,000 is the cost of the apparatus. We take a small contribution from the villager, some around 1,000 they have to invest. Then remaining amount it is financed by our bank, and out of that some subsidy portion is there which we are getting from MNRE. So far some 63,000 lights we have already financed.
This key alliance between Tata Power Solar and DuPont is aiming to scale and replicate the model to provide access to electricity in the remotest corners of the country, building a brighter future for solar energy in a quest for zero darkness in India.
Collaboration with partners like Tata Power Solar is a big step ahead. So Shunya is definitely the vision for us. We believe that if you were to look at an off-grid installation like what we have, and if you were to look at the multiplier effect of just being able to replicate these small solar lighting systems that we see here across the several thousands of villages across the country, you're talking about a country that is lit whenever you need to switch on that electricity bulb at home and have zero darkness.
We're back with Ravi Kailas of Mitra Energy to take stock of innovations in India's electricity sector. There's no denying the importance of innovation in this space, but what kind of innovations would you specifically like to see in India's electricity sector?
I think most of the technology is in place today within what we have available in India and what's available in other parts of the world. The biggest innovations that India needs today are in terms of financing of projects and in terms of how these projects are put together as partnerships.
On a slightly different note, what is the role of renewable energy in powering India, in meeting India's electricity needs?
I think that we have always, over the last few decades, felt that we did not have enough oil or gas, and we've always felt that we have not been given these resources. But if you look 100 years into the future, if the resources that we do have, which are sunlight and wind and other sources of renewable energy, more than compensate for potentially what could have been a resource curse before. And I think that renewables in India could take up as much as 70 to 80% of India's energy needs in the next few decades.
If we really maximize our focus and push and dependence on renewable energy, we won't have any challenges and shortages in the electricity sector. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. I think if you take just two technologies, which are wind and solar, there is about 200 gigawatts worth of potential for wind energy, of which only 20 gigawatts has been built. And this is based on current technology. As technology improves, the total potential also changes. In solar, it's almost unlimited. I mean, we've got millions of acres of wasteland in India. And given a choice, every single one of these acres should be covered with a solar panel.
So realistically speaking, you can see a future for India where there's zero power shortages, zero homes in darkness?
Electricity is something that we should take for granted. I mean, we are spending so much time on trying to build this basic infrastructure. I think it is not only realistic, it is something that is going to happen.
Today, we've seen powerful examples of innovative companies that are striving to bring light to remote, off-the-grid rural areas of India. That's it on this edition of DuPont Presents The Power of Shunya Quest for Zero, a show that celebrates science and innovation, technologies that could secure our future, human ingenuity that could reduce our challenges to zero. Till next week then, goodbye.